Hello and welcome to episode 62 of 15K Plus Random Movie Reviews, the podcast where we take a random movie from Metacritic's all-time movie list. This is Colin.
This is Noel.
This is random movie 11,762. It's The Money Pit from 1986. Metascore of 49, a user score of 6.7. Runs for 1 hour and 31 minutes. Had a budget of 18.4 million and box office was 55 million, so it was a little bit of a success. So a couple of people in the background here might be interesting. Obviously Spielberg's name pops out as a producer at the start.
His album.
Richard Benjamin directed it. He directed Mermaids, which is, if you like this movie, you'll probably like Mermaids, and vice versa, at least.
It's very similar vibe to it, similar comedy.
Comedy in bunny rabbit quotations.
Can't see me doing that.
No. It's written by David Greiler, who, strangely enough, wrote most of and produced all the Alien movies, which is... He must have found his niche after this one. I don't like writing slapstick comedy.
I don't see the difference between this and Aliens. It's pretty much the same movie.
Yeah, I remember when the alien fell through a staircase in Alien 2. That was funny.
Yeah. Oh, I'm investing too much money in this house.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously it's interesting to get a Tom Hanks movie from 86. So this is 2 years after Splash and 4 years before Big. And so he's in that, he's obviously getting recognized and he's finding his feet. And I think Big was his sort of big.
Hey, yeah. Well, that Big was his first, in my humble opinion, his first good movie. Like he did a lot of this standard rom-com. He just churning them out for a few years. No problem with that. You got to find your feet somewhere, and he made his money doing so as well. Yeah,
for sure. And the other name co-starring in this is Shelley Long, and you'll know her mostly from Diane in Cheers. She started that in 82, and I think she was still in Cheers when she did this because she lasted 5 seasons before Kirstie Alley came along and took over.
With a shotgun, yeah.
With a shotgun.
Alien style.
Yeah. I like Cheers. It was fun. It was fine.
Great job, yeah.
I also remember watching Splash as well when I was a kid in the 80s on TV, and yeah, weird movie, but Tom Hanks is always, he always had the face. He always had this sort of acting chops to make it big.
And a lot of his mannerisms have never gone away. Like his over-the-top laugh. It still is used today. Well, not anymore, but as Woody in Toy Story, the whole way through, it's the same laugh, and it's good. If you've got something like that, keep it.
Yeah, that's fine. It's not a problem to do that. He's using what he knows best. But he did such a run after. Like, I was looking through his things. Like he did Big, right, in 88. Then he did The Burbs, whatever. Turner and Hooch. I loved it as a kid, but it's got a 36 Metascore.
It hasn't aged well. I seen it 20 years ago, and I thought, oh, that's not great. And I do remember watching it as a kid and liking it. So
yeah. Joe versus the Volcano, no. Bonfire of the Vanities, no. A League of Their Own, right? Okay, so that's a very well-loved
That's
movie.
Pretty good movie, yeah.
Yeah, so then he's hitting his stride. He's got Sleepless in Seattle, Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, Toy Story, Apollo 13, That Thing You Do, Saving Private Ryan. You've got Mail, The Green Mile, Toy Story 2, Castaway, Catch Me If You Can, Road to Perdition. He was a producer on Big Fat Greek Wedding, blah, 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 blah. The Terminal, The Lady Killers, which we've reviewed already in a previous episode. Yeah. And, that was just a crazy big run of great movies.
Like, there's some ridiculously good movies in there. Like, ridiculously good. Like, top tier.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot take that away from it. That's redunculous.
Yeah. So that's right. That's 2 in total, right? Movies we've had. We haven't had...
2 Toms, yeah.
Yeah? We haven't had other ones, right?
No, we haven't. No, just The Lady Killers.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. We've had 2 of Tom's. It's quite nice. Nice quick summary on Metacritic is: a young couple struggles to repair a hopelessly dilapidated house, and that's the entire movie. That's the plot.
Yeah, you don't have to watch it.
Yeah.
That's what happens. And then they repair it, and then it's over.
Yeah. It is a very straightforward movie. It's like, it's just constant stuff
slapstick.
happening. Like the house is a shithole, and stuff happens for a good 40 minutes in a row. Just constant stuff breaking, and it's like, okay, it's
There's a
not
lot
that
of
funny.
Buster Keating-esque comedy, but that, to be
Not
honest,
that much though. Not like he doesn't do any sort of, apart from the staircase falling and dangling off, and I guess the carpet going through the hole and
and then as he's on the roof with the paint on his head, and
I hated that part.
I wrote that down. What did I write? Oh, I hate this scene so much. Ah.
Yeah. So what did you watch it with your daughter?
I watched it with my wife, not my daughter.
Okay. Yeah, that's good, because I was thinking during it, man, there's a lot of like innuendos in this movie.
Yeah. Much more than I remember. I think it was, but then I know in the UK that they didn't allow it to be PG. I read that somewhere. I think they made it 15s or something.
Yeah, but I wouldn't put it past them, or 12s or something. I guess I don't know. Is 12 a rating? I can't remember.
Who knows?
Yeah,
there's some adult themes.
That's strange. It's like, really,
especially when the first shirk arrives and he's.
Yeah, that's like so.
I don't know if he really have that in the movie nowadays. That scene aged very badly.
Very badly, and it's like, yeah, he attacked me. And he's like going, "Oh, you're a carpenter."
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Please,
you're trying to sexually assault me. Yeah, but that's comedy. Okay.
Yeah, this is 86. This is
yeah.
Just weird. We didn't know what the hell the world was about and what was appropriate. I wonder what Tom Hanks would feel about like that scene. I'd like to interview him just about the Money Pit. Maybe not when he sees my reviews, my scores.
Maybe we'll have him on next week and we'll talk.
Yeah, I'll get in touch with his agent. I'm sure he'll be delighted. It starts off the movie with a strange wedding where an old man is getting married to a very young South American lady.
In Rio de Janeiro, for some reason.
In Rio de Janeiro or whatever. There's something strange with the Spanish language read. They don't actually pronounce something. I can't remember what letters they don't pronounce, but it's not Rio de Janeiro as we say it.
So, yeah, we're filthy English-speaking,
Irish,
no second
twats.
language Irish twats.
Yeah. I had to explain Irish language last night to somebody just regarding why we don't speak it and stuff. Well, a long time ago.
Oh, that old chestnut, yeah.
Anyway, that old dude is Tom's dad, or not, Walter's dad.
Yes.
When Walter is Tom Hanks, and we get to see that he's legged it from America because he's owes so much money.
Awful, weird, and unused plot device. I don't understand its inclusion in the movie. Oh, by the way, my dad legged it after nicking $2.5 million from the something or other.
Yeah, it's one of these devices that there's a lot of things in this script that doesn't tie together very well at all. Yeah, so like he tries to pay somebody off at the start of the movie as well, and he's like going, "What are you?" Or like one of the bands or something. No, my dad still owes you money, and he's like going, "What are you paying that back for?"
They're assholes.
Yeah, they don't know what they're.
They expect to be stiffed over. You're a nice guy. Don't pay them.
Just say yoink. I'll take it back then. Thanks.
Yeah.
I always with movies set in New York. I always there's the intro always has the New York skyline. I always gauge a movie by the Twin Towers, like just seeing them there. It's just sort of iconic. Obviously 80s and 90s movies will have, if it's in New York, you're getting the Twin Towers, and it's just it's another reminder of pre and post 9/11 world.
It's quite striking, really. Like
were you in America before? Did you visit New York before 2001?
No, I was after. Well after.
I
was working with a bunch of Americans when it happened. It was quite a scene in the office with them, as you can imagine.
Yeah, sure. So we have that intro. It's very sitcom-y type music, and the scenario or the scenes that they show, it's like, it's the start of a 30-minute sitcom kind of sounds like, and reminded me of.
Filmed before a live studio audience.
Yeah. Walter and Anna, played by Tom and Shelley Long, are in bed, and they're not married. He wants to get married. She doesn't yet. And
not after the last time.
Yeah, we sort of get very quickly into the sort of plot line that she was married to the maestro, Carl from Die Hard.
Yeah, yeah. And his character is very
Similar.
no, he's actually kind of Tommy.
Tommy Wiseau. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big fan. I wrote that down.
So Tommy Wiseau had a baby with the guy from Ghostbusters too, Vigo. That's what you get.
Yeah, he was pretty bad. I thought at the start, oh yeah, he's a pretty good actor, but then no, he wasn't.
No, he's shocking.
Yeah,
he's Tommy Wiseau. And I'm not sure that, I think that might be his range.
Yeah, accented German type character. Yeah. So he's a conductor. He wasn't
fighting anybody,
No, not really. There's the plot bit in the story that I hate the most involves him, and I'm sure you know
that later on. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. He's the maestro. He's a music conductor. Anna is a violinist in the orchestra, and so she has to live with the fact. And he's come back and he's taken over the apartment, and that's why they have to find somewhere very quickly to live in. Walter's a lawyer, and he's basically trying to pay back his dad's debts, and he's involved in a lot of pop groups and rock groups, heavy metal groups,
and some young boys for some reason.
Young boy, yeah, that was weird too. I've got a chick in the jacuzzi.
Right,
Jesus Christ,
right.
That's a little bit off. So he grabs, and again, this character isn't fleshed out at all. His property agent Jack, who he jogs around a track and gets carted off in an ambulance.
The fun thing is that he's fat and he's trying to not be fat, so that's the joke.
Yeah, and his pulse alarm keeps going off in his 80s watch.
Yeah,
and
like 5 kilo Fitbit.
Yeah, so he needs 200K to get this massive house. Jack's like going, yeah, bloody hell, it's a steal. And yeah,
it is. I'll be honest, it is. Even if the whole thing collapses, it's great for where it is.
Yeah, about an hour away from New York, I think, is what they said.
Yeah.
Walter's back in his house, and these men with beards come in dressed as women. The cheap girls, they're called. They don't pay any part in the plot whatsoever. They just come into his place.
A lot of stuff like that happens, though. It happens later on with the builders as they turn up in go-karts. We were talking about that later, but a lot of weird crap happens with no real addition to the story. And no comedic value either. It's just strange.
No, it's just like it's as if they wanted to just add some weirdness to it to go, oh yeah, let's make this memorable. We'll have them dress up as women in Little Bo Peep costumes or whatever, and then when the builders come, let's just have them in as a Mad Max entourage or whatever, which is exactly what it reminded me of.
It's the same as, I don't know if this was before or after. I think it was after Mad Max, but
I don't know. Yeah, 86. Can't remember when.
Definitely after the first one.
Right. Okay. It felt very much like Mad Max. There was a lot of pimped up jeeps and bikes and everything.
Bunch of muscular men wearing S&M gear.
Yeah, it was strange, but I don't know how else they would have made it exciting for a bunch of builders coming. Just come up in a bunch of trucks and go, all right,
and go-karts. Why was there bodybuilders driving go-karts?
It's like a circus coming up.
It was.
But it wasn't interesting at all to me.
No, it was just like, oh, that's weird.
Huh. Yeah. Anyway, we get into the house, and it's pretty much a full-on montage, and the rest of the movie is just
start straight away with the door falling off the hinges effectively. And
yeah, we could just pretty much list what actually no, first of all, they meet. It's very important to note that they meet Estelle, the owner, first.
Oh yes,
they haven't moved in yet.
Core.
Yeah, so Estelle's like going, oh, my husband Carlos, he was Hitler's pool man. Which was quite funny, actually.
Yeah, I give you that. I enjoyed that piece.
Yeah, we have to skip the country.
Cool boy,
we have to skip the country. Israeli intelligence is after us. Can't say that in a movie anymore.
No.
So Estelle and Carlos, and Estelle's going, yeah, I'll throw in the car, I'll throw in the bed, I'll do anything you want. Get out of here.
Just give me the money quick.
Yeah. So there we go. Whatever. Yeah, let's do it. We'll do a 50-50 on the house, and I'll get the money from Benny, Walter says, and Anna says, "I'll get money from Max."
I have a problem with the whole Benny thing and taking money off.
Benny and the Jets.
He doesn't have the Jets. He's a kid.
I know, yeah.
And he blackmails him emotionally to get cash out of him.
I was somewhat quickly done, but in a sort of a clever enough way, I guess. I was dreading that scene going on for much longer. Yeah, he goes to Benny. We find out Benny's a kid. He's got his mom as a maid. And yeah, Walter goes, "Yeah, give me 200K." And he's like, "No." And Walter goes,
"Maybe don't. I won't like you anymore." He's like, "Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, see ya."
Yeah, like, you know, if getting money off people was that easy, I do it all the time.
Yeah. We do have a little very quick cutscene of Jack and the property office going delirious. "So we've sold the house."
Yeah, and then his beeper, his pulse beeper goes off again.
Yeah, that's actually a little, I smiled a little at that, I must say.
Yes, most of us laugh at people dying.
Yeah, it was okay. All right, so here's the part of the movie where just shit happens in a line, and I can just ream off everything that happens. He goes into the garage, dust flies out, the bed sinks, the doorbell blows up, the door falls off, the stairs crack, the ceiling falls down,
Trash panda in the dumbwaiter, don't forget that.
Trash panda in the dumbwaiter, the stairs disappear.
Yeah,
she stamps on his fingers, he's hanging off it.
Rains in the house.
It rains in the house during a storm. Yeah, so then the carpenter comes. I'm glad we just got through all of that. So that whole section, I don't know if it's supposed to be funny.
It wasn't, too.
It wasn't funny.
None of it was funny, and I assumed that some of it was considered funny.
You think back in the day, 80s people,
I think maybe us. As a kid, I probably chortled at that stuff.
Yeah, but
but there's no nuance to it. It's just straightforward. You know, there's no depth. It's just, and then the door falls over. Yeah.
Right. Like, okay, right. He fixes the door, then the door frame falls out. That was interesting because there's a little bit of a story behind it. You know, the door falls off quickly. He fixes the door, closes the door, and then the actual door frame falls. I'm like going, okay, that's quite, I don't know, Three Stooges-esque or Laurel and Hardy-esque or Buster Keaton or whatever.
But it's done without the charisma of the Three Stooges, you know? There's something missing in that slapstick there. It's not working. It didn't work for me anyway.
No, it didn't work for me either. Like the stairs collapsing was quite well done. But again, like, it wasn't funny or hilarious or exciting. It was just like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. It's like Indiana Jones sort of in a house or whatever, falling off, nearly clinging onto the edge, and then she stands on his fingers. Then his fingers are okay for the rest of the movie. It's fine. Yeah. So the next day, as we said, the aforementioned carpenter comes along and pretty much tries to assault Anna, and she's screaming for Walter, and he's like, "I got the hell out of here." And she's going, "Oh, yeah, he tried to assault me. It's the carpenter." "Oh, the carpenter, eh?"
Yeah. That's not great.
No, she goes in and goes, "Yeah, I'm going to make some dinner now," just after getting assaulted, whatever.
As long as he can, his brother is a plumber. Oh, well then.
Yeah. And then he kept on, like, it was like, oh, I thought it was good looking wool. It was just a phrase that just was stupid to me. It's like, good looking wool.
I don't get, it's an 80s phrase that I was never party to, I guess.
I don't even think. I think it was just the writer saying, I'll try it out. She's wearing wool or something. I'll just go, yeah, it's good looking wool or something.
Yeah.
I thought it was quite, I did kind of small laugh with the two guys going upstairs because they're bringing up a mattress. Go, did you really buy this house?
Buy this place? You idiots.
Yeah, they sort of do good,
I wrote that one down. I like laughter.
That one. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, so there's a lot of innuendos at this point, and it was just weird.
A tree falls over. He pokes at a tree. He's trying to carve his name and her name into a tree with a love heart or something like that, and the tree just falls over.
Yeah, I thought it was quite interesting. She's playing violin upstairs, and the music she's playing is a overture of him battling with wasps outside, but the wasps go away quite quickly.
Yeah.
I thought it would be interesting if they actually played the entire scene with her violin over it, but that
would have been good.
Yeah, it just dies.
Yeah. No, then he pokes at a tree and falls over. And
And it
that's
falls
supposed
over.
to be the funny bit. We have weak trees.
Very weak trees, he says. Yeah, it's just like that probably epitomizes the movie. It's like a scene where something breaks again, but there's nothing to it. As you said, there's no
stuff.
depth.
A lot of stuff happens. Like a lot of stuff happens.
A lot of stuff, yeah.
But they're all very similar pieces of stuff. And a lot of it, you know, some of them will elicit a bit of a snigger, but that's about the height of it.
Yeah, pretty much. Plumber charges them $5,000. They've got a mannequin kiss. Yeah, deposit. They've got a mannequin kiss.
I wrote down the mannequin kiss bit as well. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a statue in the thing, which really doesn't really do anything again. It's just a statue. The water's not working properly. He fixes it, and it happens at the end of the Rube Goldberg scene at the end.
Yeah.
Another big scene is the kitchen electricity, where it just, again, it's another scene where something just fucks up in the house, but you're looking at it going, okay, yeah, that's breaking. Now that's breaking. Now that's breaking. Now that's breaking.
Yeah.
And then the only kind of funny thing is that the oven opens up, and then the turkey flies out of it for some reason and smashes through the window. I don't know how that works structurally or architecturally, because I thought it was just one straight house. I don't know how there's a wing or whatever. It doesn't matter. The flying turkey could have been akin to National Lampoon's Flying Santa or whatever, but again, it wasn't that funny.
No, it's mildly entertaining. But
yeah,
he does say something good when he goes to investigate where the turkey ended up, and he goes to visit Anna. If she's come out of the bathroom, I can't remember exactly what she was doing, but
I'll tell you. But you tell me what he says. I can't remember.
Oh, it can't hurt us anymore. I think it's done. Yeah, it can't hurt us anymore.
Oh, that's it? Oh.
Yeah, I find that funny. I don't know why, but I think relatively speaking, compared to the stuff that was happening elsewhere in the movie, yeah.
Yeah. But then, like, to sort of somersault forwards, the turkey flies in, then they put another bucket into the bathtub and it just falls through the ceiling. And this is when he has this crazy manic laugh, and it just goes on forever, and she's looking at him going, what the hell?
He thinks he's a space ranger. You are a toy.
Then he's got a little acting moment where he's just saying, I'm a disaster. This is a money pit. Title of the movie.
Oh, there we go. Got to get it.
And it's like going, okay, I can raise money, blah, 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 blah. And then this is when all the people drive up on Mad Max.
Bodybuilders and go-karts makes a lot of sense. Every time I've had work done on the house, it's always a bodybuilder and a go-kart turns up.
The Shirk brothers.
Yeah.
Then it's like they start chopping away at the wood and the wooden things.
Just poking holes in the house for no reason.
It's like, what the hell? And the holes stay there until the entire time, until at the end it just becomes a beautiful house.
I find the transition quite jarring.
Yeah. Well, there is a massive transition.
And then it's great.
Yeah, there's a massive transition coming up pretty soon. But there's a little bit here, just the last sort of, maybe, I think it's the last sort of, oh no, there's a massive, the Rube Goldberg thing, but the one where he misses the permit man, then he calls the permit man, gives a bribe, then he falls through the carpet and through the ceiling and gets stuck there. The permit man comes, says, get low, I'm not coming back, you bastard.
Yeah.
And then he stays there forever, and she comes home and can't find him, and I found it annoying.
Yeah.
He's stuck there, and then he said, I can't shout at the permit man. Then he comes home and shouts at her. I'm in here. I can't shout at the permit man. My chest is constricted.
Yep. And
just make the script work for you. Okay, fine.
This is kind of one of the scenes that annoyed me as well. It's just, yeah.
They're in bed that night, and the chimney falls down through the actual heart of the fire.
Just because I had to have something happening. Yeah.
I think that's the last thing that you see crazy happen structurally to the house that's not anybody else's fault. So it's like 4 months later comes up. It's a massive jump. You see that the house is getting places. We've got stairs.
Yep, he's very excited about stairs.
Yeah. I thought the bathroom cabinet thing was quite amusing. Yes.
And I think that that was actually quite well done. I was upset that she was upset by the fact that the bathroom cabinet still had a man in
it. Again, though, is another thing. It's like, it's all throughout the movie. It's quite. It tends to go bedroom dialogue, and it's like he's like going, "Yeah, you're running out of your birth control pills." It's like they couldn't go dialogue with it. Yeah, because like the previous scene is them all staring through the window as they're rolling around in bed as well.
But there's nothing.
It's just a weird
overly
movie.
saucy.
No.
It's
just like, I don't know. Your daughter's 7. I was thinking of you guys going, yeah, that's probably not what you want to. It's probably not.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't watch it with her. You know, it's not.
You need a G rating or whatever. Yeah, is G rating still a thing?
I have no idea. I generally just let her watch movies I've seen before that I know that I haven't found offensive.
As a teacher, there is a website called Common Sense Media that tells parents what movies are appropriate, and it goes through everything, like the different things that could be in it, and tells you exactly what's in them.
So what you're saying is I should get my kids to watch Requiem for a Dream or something like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
And Platoon.
Damn right. Or Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. I bet you can't wait. You're going to have to wait till your daughter's like 16 or 18 to watch Tropic Thunder. Sit down there. I've been waiting for this.
Waiting so long. You're going to like this.
Get out, go to university.
Don't be offended if this is dated badly. You're not allowed to say stuff about it being inappropriate.
Yeah, exactly. What? So in 11 years' time,
stuff that we find funny now will probably
Robert Downey Jr.'s character in Tropic Thunder is going to be like, it's going to be like edited that he's white.
In fairness, it was quite controversial when it came out in the first place. So I don't know if it aged all that well.
Yeah, it never got to the point where people were protesting the movie.
No. I think it's good. Well, I'm not going to talk about that movie, but I think it's done quite well.
Yeah. Anyway, this Rube Goldberg scene pisses me off. Anna unplugs a plug and it sets up an entire mousetrap type thing.
Rubbish.
He's on I don't even want to describe it really, but he's outside.
What really effing annoys me when he bounces around the place, gets sprung onto the roof.
He's got paint all over him.
But he's got a tissue or a cloth over his head.
And
he can't see. So he keeps walking around anyway, instead of taking the cloth off his head. And I'm like, you're an idiot. This is stupid.
It's not funny.
Humans don't do this.
Yeah, it's not funny at all. And I guess they wanted it to be funny. The entire scaffolding comes down.
It's an impressive choreographed piece, I guess, but it doesn't land on the old funny chops, I'm afraid.
No, he ends up in a cart, flying down the garden, landing in the mannequin piss and pissing.
Getting peed on. I liked him getting peed on by the mannequin piss. That was a bit.
All right, here comes the plot where I hated it, and I'm sure you feel the same way. So Anna goes to Max and wants to sell painting, whatever, doesn't really matter. But they end up going back to his place. Oh, he's away in Philadelphia. That was funny, actually. He was in Philadelphia, Tom Hanks. I think it was Philadelphia, right? Or Pittsburgh. It's Philadelphia, right? I think it was in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia fits better. Let's go with that.
Yeah, that was good. So she wakes, anyway, we segue, we transition. She wakes up and Max is kissing her on the cheek. Good morning. She's obviously drunk a lot. She's going nuts, going, oh my God, where am I? Blah, blah, blah.
What have I done?
Yeah. And I'm like going, I just wrote down, what the fuck? That's shitty. What movie am I watching?
It is shitty. She just slept with her ex-husband.
But then at the back of my mind, it's going, at the end of the movie, this is going to turn out that he's lying. We knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, and I wrote the same thing as well. But it's so bloody telegraphed.
But the thing about it is, like, he picks up her underwear from the thing. It's like, you're going, oh, she really did do that or something. But anyway.
Yeah.
I thought this is when the plot takes a stupid turn for me. Tom comes home from Philadelphia. And actually, I wanted to note that
from the streets of Philadelphia.
Yeah. Whatever. Every driver that came up to the house went, testing missiles here, are they?
Yeah, that was the joke, you see.
That's the joke. Yeah. So anyway, we start off here. I hated all these scenes. He comes home and he's really paranoid for some reason.
Suddenly paranoid because it's not like she hasn't spent a shed load of time with Max because he's the bloody he's he's organizing the orchestra for her. So she works with him day in, day out, and he's never really been that jealous. He has been a bit, but now he's massively jealous because they had a meal together.
Yeah.
Nah, that doesn't make sense. And sort of, he straight up says, did you sleep with him? And she's like, what? That doesn't that came out of nowhere. Not.
It really did. It was really jarring to the plot line. Like immediately, boom, infidelity.
Yeah, and mistrust. Let's have some of that.
Yeah. Then again, they're lying in bed and he can't let it go. And he's like, "Did you sleep with him?" She's like, "No, I did not." Cut to outside. Light goes back on. She wants to wake him up. Yeah, sorry, I did. And he's like, going, "That's okay. We'll talk about it in the morning." Light goes off. Outside, light goes on. You whore. You bastard.
It's an unusual phrase to hear Tom Hanks screaming at somebody, to be honest, because he's usually quite wholesome. That's not wholesome.
But here's the deal. She immediately goes, "I'm mad." What the fuck?
I slept with my ex-husband. You asshole.
I'm mad. I'm mad. You said you would forgive me or something or whatever.
Yeah. Listen, if anybody has half a brain, thinks sleeping with somebody's ex-husband and then going, we're okay then, right? Even though, you said you'd be okay. No, people are going to go nuts for a bit.
Yeah.
Now, they should probably forgive you, or maybe they should forgive you, but they get a right to be mad for a little bit.
I don't know. It was a terrible plot twist or plot turn in the storyline.
Weak. It's nuanced as a brick in the face. It's not funny. It just feels awful.
Yeah, it's badly directed and it's badly executed. And she wants to leave then they have this massive sort of. It cuts to a scene where he's painting, and she's packing up, blah blah blah, and then Max shows up and goes, "Oh, you want to move in with me?" She's going, "No, I don't want to be with anybody." And then Max goes, "I made it up." And the worst,
it's even more annoying right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and what pisses me off then is, "Now I hate Walter." She says that exactly. No, I don't hate you. I hate Walter. And it's like, why do you hate Walter? Because he's mad at you for sleeping with your ex. What the fuck?
Yeah, and she tells Max, "No, I'm not going to tell him."
Yeah, and then Max comes downstairs, meets Walter, and doesn't tell him either.
In fairness, Max does say to herself, to Anna, "Maybe you should tell him." She doesn't listen.
No. I like the way he conducted the painter when he left, Max. That was okay.
And down.
Fluid
strokes. Everybody in that 5 minutes should have listened to Max.
Yeah.
But nobody listens to Max because he's Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah. I can't hear a word you're saying. I don't understand what you're saying. We cut to the house. It's made. It's complete. It's empty.
Just like that.
Like this plot.
Yeah.
But Mr. Shirk says one line. He says, and this is supposed to make us tie it all together. Hey, well, the foundation was okay. Everything else just can be fixed.
Yeah. And then they look at each other and there's kind of a realization, both of them. And then they ignore it for a minute. And then they're like, I forgive you, or I'm not upset about you sleeping with your ex-husband or something like that. And then they're married.
Well, yeah, like they're all both going upstairs to pack, and he finally just goes, "Listen, I don't care, if it means." And that guy was going, "Really? You're forgiving cheating just because?" And then she turns around going, "I didn't sleep with Max." Oh my God! Thank God.
See, I would have dumped her ass again at that point.
Why didn't you tell me? Yeah, exactly. When did you know that you didn't?
I can understand him forgiving her because, you know what, I love you. Fuck it, you made a mistake. You were drunk. Sometimes shit happens. I'm not happy about it. Don't bloody do it again. We get over it. But then not being effing told that she didn't actually sleep with him and she knew for 4 effing months. I'd throw her out the window.
We don't know. We don't really know how long since
it was
she was told by Max. Yeah. Weeks, maybe 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. The other joke.
The other joke that goes through the thing. When will it be ready? 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, it's manageable up until this third of the movie where this this plot thing
There was
happens.
a plot.
Yeah, this incident happens, and everything after just is annoying. They are
I,
playing Ode to Joy, just like Die Hard at the wedding.
I did like that fact, but I found it weird that Max, who was trying very hard to break them up, is now playing music at the wedding.
Well, that's the plot.
That's the
You
plot.
know, that's the plot. It's like they don't care. It's like everybody be happy at the end. Even Max, get him conducting the wedding.
But not Daddy, because Daddy is now buying a house.
Who is he buying the house from?
From Carlos, with a very German accent.
Carlos and Estelle. Yeah, because he goes, Dankeschön or Auf Wiedersehen. Or, I mean, whatever Spanish is for ciao.
Ciao.
Yeah. And that's the end of The Money Pit.
It's such a very nuanced and strong movie, especially how way it wraps up the beginning and the end being like a mirror image. You know, it's just like the same thing.
Oh, amazing. Well done, writer.
Yeah.
I can see why he moved on to Alien, the Alien franchise.
Yeah, the rom-coms ain't his strong suit. Aliens ripping people's face off? Yes. You did a good job there. Great job on that. Not so much in this.
Yeah, we can forgive him for bringing aliens to life. So yeah, the issues with this movie are that the actual disaster montages that happen and the disastrous events in the house that happen aren't funny and aren't that interesting. And I don't know how else to put it. Obviously, you need to get a bit more flavor into these incidents to make them exciting and entertaining.
I don't think it's aged all that well either. I think it's aged really bad, this movie.
Yeah, there's a couple of silly little things in it. And then I think my second most hated thing is the plot device where she thinks she's cheated on him and blah, blah, blah. And all the rest after that sucks.
Yep.
I haven't thought about how I'd make this movie better. I think it would take a meeting of about 6 days to figure it out.
It's not a money pit; it's a plot pit. Like it's just too much work needs to be put on there. You'd have to get a whole team of shirks and his Mad Max bodybuilders in.
I wouldn't. If I saw them coming down the driveway, I'd be like, "Get the hell out of here!"
Yeah, leave the go-karts out. They look like fun.
Yeah. Joe Montana was in this movie.
He was. I was quite jarring the character he played.
Yeah. All right. So give your plot score there because I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking
1.25. I had it at 1.5 before we started talking, and I had to reduce it. I couldn't reduce it too much because I was, I've already marked it, but I needed to mark it down out of annoyance.
Yeah, I put 1.5 just as you were about to say 1.25. Yeah, we've talked about the plot already. We don't need to expand upon that.
No.
Acting, I'm giving 2. I was going to give 2.5 just because I think it's average, but Max is terrible, so I'm giving 2.
2's about right. Max is awful. Tom Hanks. One of his weaker performances easily, yeah. And yeah, like this is no good acting in this. 2's about right.
Yeah, I think like he's still
generous. I think.
Yeah, he's decent enough, and Shelley is fine.
She's
as well.
okay. She's okay.
Yeah, there is no soundtrack. I give it 1. It's just there's a couple of things, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, I put 1. There was a 15 seconds nice sort of arrangement of Yesterday by the Beatles. Beyond that,
yeah, but I was played
garbage.
in the worst possible scene.
It was.
Yeah. So that's why it didn't register with me. You can hear it's faint as well. It's like, oh, what the hell? It's Yesterday's. Because you have to pay a lot of money to bring a Beatles song into your thing. It's probably, I thought the budget was 10 million, was it? 18.4.
So they got 15 seconds of a Beatles song.
8 million was 15 seconds of Yesterday's. Production, I'm giving 2.5 average just because they did the house fine. It's fine. It's okay.
I gave the same because I think they did quite a lot of work in the deconstruction and construction of the house. And, the slapstick stuff, while I didn't find it funny, there was a lot of work to that production. So you have to give some credit to that.
Yeah, yeah. I read it was somebody's house. They wrecked it up. The owner came and went, "What the hell?" But then they fixed it all up for him, so it's a real house and everything. I think I read that they recreated the facade of the house and the back garden of the house for some reason. I have no clue.
Hmm.
Just some things I remember from the trivia. And Shelley Long, interestingly enough, was like gave birth like maybe 2 weeks or 2 months before this movie.
In the house.
Yeah, and it's just I was just like she had to do a couple of things in this movie. And I'm like going, Jesus, how the hell are you moving so okay? Like,
Yeah, yeah. Crikey.
yeah. Variety gave it 20 out of 100. The Money Pit is simply the pit. There was really very little else to be said about this gruesomely unfunny comedy, unofficial remake of the 1948 Cary Grant Myrna Loy star Mr. Blandings builds his dream house. Begins unpromisingly and slides irrevocably downward from there. That last sentence needs a couple of commas. Sorry, Variety.
You're going to mark his sentence structure down low for that.
Yeah, I'll review his critique. Time Out London gave it 80 out of 100. You can see it coming, but it still has the delicious anticipation of the slow burn, and it all gets much worse. Director Richard Benjamin has the rare gift of knowing just where the funny bone lies, a certain taste for Keaton-esque slapstick, and a very fine comic performer in Hanks.
No.
I don't think so, mate.
No,
Whoever wrote that.
Jog on.
Jog on, mate. Well, let's bury this in the money pit then, I guess. Or
take
whatever.
it to the gravel pit and shoot it like a dog.
Yeah, something like that. I couldn't really think of anything better for this movie. All right, so let's randomly choose our next movie from Metacritic's all-time movie list. And it is 13,329.
Oh, that's a big number.
It is a big number for the second week in a row. And movie 13,329 is Conan the Barbarian. I'm going to hate this.
I love this movie. It's awful, but in an amazing way. I want to crush my enemies and I will kill them, and I have a big sword. Chop, chop. Crom. I watched this a few times. I'm sorry.
Really? I think I've watched it once.
I as a kid, I loved it, and I knew it was rubbish. I still loved it.
Well, you've got Arnie, you've got James Earl Jones, you've got Max von Sydow.
What more do you want?
Acting abilities.
Arnie, he's got the full range.
Yeah, directed by John Milius, who wrote Apocalypse Now. Oh no, yeah, wrote Apocalypse Now. Wrote Dirty Harry.
Wow.
Wrote Clear and Present Danger. He's listed as other in Inglourious Bastards and other in Jaws, and he's got a credit of Saving Private Ryan. I need to figure out why.
Turned up.
Oh my God. See, this is serendipitous. He was an actor in The Wind and the Lion.
Get out of town.
And he directed it and wrote it. Hang on a sec. What? Yes. He directed and wrote The Wind and the Lion.
Oh my God.
We must have said this in that episode, though, that he also directed Conan the Barbarian. I think I vaguely remember us talking about Conan the Barbarian before.
Okay. That's cheapers. It's a small world when it comes to reviewing movies, really.
Do you know who wrote this along with him, Conan the Barbarian? Who you would never think?
Conan O'Brien?
No, Oliver Stone.
Get it down.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't feel like an Oliver Stone movie.
No, he must have just learned his writing chops in this one. If you didn't know, the summary is very short as well. Conan, Schwarzenegger, seeks revenge from the group led by Tulsa Doom, who killed his parents and enslaved him. It's got a Metascore of 43, but it uses a score of 8.
Yeah.
So 8. It's all 8.0.
Oh, out of 10?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like 8 out of 100.
8 out of no. User scores out of 10, meta scores out of 100.
Okay, sorry.
1982, runs for 2 hours and 9 minutes. There's a little bit more substance to it. A little bit more substance.
Yeah. It's
rated R, so get your daughter in to watch this one.
Ani will be decapitating the people.
All right, cool. So there's a lot of serendipitous links to this movie from our past and links to other things as well. So I look forward to delving into Conan the Barbarian. I actually think this might be on Andrew, our listeners' top 10 as well. So that would make it off. Yeah, that would make it 2 that we actually randomly got that we didn't actually choose from his top 10. But I can't remember, maybe not. All right, cool. So let's look forward to that in episode 63 of 15K plus random movie reviews. Keep sharing if you can, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Ciao.